Alrighty. I think it's about time for a real video here. Okay. So, we are currently about to begin our 4th week of our online recorded bulk. About our, 15th or 16th week overall. About 3 months in, officially at this point. So, what we got going on right now is a little bit of a audible week, meaning that we're going to change up a few things just because we are allowing this shoulder to kind of come back to full strength. As I tweaked it, pulled it, did something with it. It just feels terrible every time I try to do any pressing, any hugely shoulder driven movement is just not working out right now. I'm also working on stretching out my stretching out and aligning my cubital tunnel, and just kind of working on the ulnar nerve there on my right side. It just gets tweaked super easily. So, there's a few exercises and mobility movements that I can use to, strengthen my arm and strengthen the joints, loosen them up, and, really just continue to use them, use my shoulder, but not put load on it. All the other parts of my body, I'm going to try to push as far as that my body will allow it, such as, my legs, abs, biceps, triceps, anything that I can kind of keep my shoulders down here. This isn't, too bad here. The movement is not hindered, it doesn't feel like, but we'll see how it feels under load. As for, my diet and my current weight check-in, I'm still sitting there legit right there at 123.2 still. And it's really, mostly just because I feel like my body has adapted to 3,000 calories a day. And while I'm hitting those metrics, it's not doing the trick. So I'm officially upping the calorie intake to 3,200. I know it's not a huge jump, but I just don't until I start my job, I just don't have the money to support a higher calorie, in the 4,000s diet, because it's just too much food. And also it's just incredibly difficult to eat that much food. So I am going to get up to it eventually. I just need the money in place first, and then we'll work on actually consuming that amount of calories. But for now, I am going to increase it to 3,200. Supplement with rice, supplement with a little extra chicken here and there, and I am putting a second protein shake right after cardio into the day as well. So we're hopefully going to experience a little bit of a easier increase in that department. So, what else is there to talk about? Today is going to be back bicep and forearms. We're doing a few different forearm exercises today, stuff that will hopefully feel very good and very a little bit more exerting and intense than the exercises I've been doing as of recently. What you got there? What you smell? Are you just eating the table? You just eating the table? Is there something smelly on the table? Delicious? Yeah. All right. But yeah, it's almost, I think, about 1 o'clock here in Illinois. The eclipse should be just about starting here soon, and once it's passed just a little bit, I'm going to take my booty to bed for just a little bit, and take a little nap and hit the gym. So expect it to be intense, just like always, and but if I throw in a few mobility exercises here and there instead of my regularly scheduled lifting stuff, because I like to do my stretches, warm-ups, and mobility stuff off camera, and then do just the lifting stuff for the actual, muscle gain part of it. Because the other stuff, it doesn't necessarily equate to gains. It's just stuff that I do to stay healthy. But I might include a mobility exercise or two, just so there's a little bit of variation, maybe, or to continue the video. Like if I have to skip a certain exercise because I am just, my shoulder's killing me and I'm not able to push that exercise. Obviously, we're trying not to push anything to the point of my shoulder being killing. If anything, if something even feels like it's starting to put any unwanted pressure on the shoulder, I'm going to stop that exercise. But I'll replace it with something that is like a mobility exercise for that portion of the body, whether it's a spine exercise or a maybe like elbow or wrist mobility just for today. And then we'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'm 100% replacing any shoulder exercises on Tuesday with shoulder mobility exercises. So you'll see a few of those there. We're going to do a few stretches, a few different things just to keep the shoulder moving, keep the shoulder grooving, but not putting any load on it. From what I've understood, you can benefit a lot from active movement during recovery phases of things like joints, muscles, and stuff like that, as long as you're not overexerting them and you're not experiencing pain. The main point is that you're allowing it to recover and you're still actively recovering. So that's about it for the exercise and what I'm hopefully going to be doing for the rest of the week. I cannot wait for another leg day this week. I'm going to, instead of doing my quads day first this week, I'm going to do my No. I loved how it felt to do quads and then hamstrings later in the week. That's what I want to do again. So we're going to be doing quads and calves and abs on Wednesday, and then on Saturday we're going to be doing hamstrings and hamstrings, back, and calves. No, hamstring, abs, and calves again, because we're going to give the quads and the hamstrings the optimal amount of time to actually recover from their strenuous exercises. About a week, between using the hamstring and the quads. We're gonna keep it like that for a little bit. It does seem like that might be the best option for overall muscle gain and size gain in that area. But still doing 2 leg days a week. So still hitting the calves twice a week because that's a smaller muscle group. Still hitting the abs twice a week and the core twice a week. But just separating quads and hamstrings into the Wednesday and Saturday exercises. And then we're going to be keeping the swap of the bicep and chest days. So it's going to be looking like today, bicep, back, and forearms. Tomorrow, tricep, shoulder mobility, and what are we going to do for chest? Are we going to do any chest? We're going to do light chest work. I'm going to see if any of that feels good on Tuesday. If any of that feels good, I might do something in terms of chest. It's just hard because most of the chest exercises are going to have a little bit of that shoulder loading. It's going to just have pressure in that area, and if it's painful, then I'm not going to do it. And so maybe we could, instead of doing just shoulder mobility, we can work on maybe elbow and shoulder, elbow, back, I don't know, some sort of mobility sequence there on Tuesday, tomorrow. But also hitting the triceps nice and hard. It'd be interesting to try to put in triceps again today, but one thing that I really do not like about doing arms is my ulnar nerve on my right arm is just kind of funky. I got in an accident maybe about 6 months ago, and then I got hit by a car. So, crashed a scooter and got hit by a car, and both of them, really messed up my right arm. But I felt like it was fine for the longest time, but sometimes you just don't notice what's actually under the surface until you've used it for a while. And it does look like the cubital tunnel, ulnar nerve, and carpal, even the carpal tunnel, is a little bit agitated by having a forearm, tricep, and bicep pump. I just could not do like a motion like this without my nerve being pinched on the outside and just a whole electricity feeling going down my arm. So now I'm like compulsively doing this ulnar nerve stretch where you're just kind of like feeling the pressure in your middle pointer and ring fingers and your thumb, and then really trying to just extend the stretch on those things so that when you're in those exercises where you're pressing and you're doing things like with your elbow and flexing different joints, bending different joints in your arm, that the ulnar nerve isn't getting twisted or pinched anywhere. That's just something that I've been dealing with. I don't know if anybody else has experienced something like that. I noticed it about 2-3 weeks into working out. I was like, something's weird with my elbow. And then I started doing reverse curls, where you go like this. And dude, the ulnar nerve just like snapped every time. I went to like when I went to up the weight on it at all, I was like, oh, this feels good. I'm gonna up the weight because I know my muscle can take it. And then just out of nowhere, my nerve would just my arm would like, it wouldn't completely lose its strength. I just did not want to put any more load on it because it just literally felt like it would just, it felt like a lightning bolt was going down it. So, I had to figure out what exercises I could do to, work out my forearms. Because that was the main reason I was doing the reverse curl, was I knew it targeted the forearms as well. And I wanted to do a bicep and forearm workout at the time. Now I've decided that I'm just going to target forearms directly. It's just any muscle group that you really want to target, you might as well just try to isolate it. Because if you're trying to do all these complicated compound movements, you're really just kind of overlapping things, getting fatigued in one exercise before you go to another exercise that's using the same muscle group. So I just try to target each individual muscle group in each exercise, and if they have a little bit of overlap, that's okay, but I really do try to take forearms specifically now and do specific exercises that target what I'm trying to strengthen. And now one of those things that I need to do way often is stretching my right side's ulnar nerve. It's just it's definitely a little out of place, out of whack, so I have to work around it. But that's basically all that I wanted to bring up. One thing that I do want to touch on when it comes to the mind state video from yesterday, or I think I'm going to post both of them. No, yeah, this one's being posted in the future. It's the same day that I recorded the video for yesterday's. It's a whole time skipping, time travel kind of dealie that we're working with right now. But basically, I wanted to, put out there that having a strong mental fortitude going into working out in like a bulk period or any part of your life where you're really wanting to achieve a huge goal, I think getting your mind right is part of the battle. and it's important. It's just as important as the physical aspects of what you're doing. So if you haven't tackled that yet in your journey, I'd highly suggest to start taking the time to do so, because that's where I'm at. I haven't. Yeah, I've been talking about it for a while. I've been talking about, just trying to become the best version of myself that I've been in a long time, and part of that is attacking the philosophical and the state of mind that I want to have for the for this goal, for my development. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up is the fact that dealing with obstacles like not gaining weight very easily, and you needing to eat a ton of food, and you needing to figure out which food you can eat. Like for me, a huge obstacle that I used as a scapegoat almost, or a cop out to genuinely improving my weight, was I used to say that I just have a huge metabolism. I have IBS, and I have all these things that prohibit me from gaining weight and eating the right amount of food. But there are so many options and methods out there for you to try, and the main point is just not to give up. It took me, when did I start trying? I started trying to gain weight and gain muscle when I moved to Florida the first time. Not the first time, but when I moved to Florida after I hit rock bottom the first time. So, I mean, that wasn't even the first time hitting rock bottom. It was 5 years ago, I think. 5 or 6 years ago at this point, where I found myself in Florida and had no job, was just kind of starting from ground zero, no car, no nothing, but I had some weights in my room. I had some weights and a bed, and I had the ability to get food. So what I did was I kind of tried to optimize my, my diet and my weight gaining plan and all this stuff, but I had such a little amount of information at the time that I every time that I thought that I found something that might work, it just didn't. The main thing that I just had to accept after years and years was that, while I do have IBS, while I am lactose intolerant, while I do have a few things that limit what I can eat, I need to eat more of it. And understanding more about my foods, even finding out that some whey protein powders have lactose in it. So if you're lactose intolerant and you're getting stomach aches every time you eat your lactose-free milk with your whey protein, you're like, why is my stomach always messed up? It must just be I can't take protein. No. You can take protein. You just need to find the protein that works for you. If you can't take protein at all that comes from animal, stuff, if you're vegan, if you just have problems with your stomach where you just can't digest it for whatever reason, switch over to some plant-based protein, or get your protein somehow at the optimal rates, but also just eat the calories and eat more if you're not gaining weight. So, not allowing myself to comp out using the obstacles that have been placed before me, but using them as a learning experience in a way for me to then communicate that to other people who might be having that same issue, that have a high metabolism, because that's 100% true. I have a high metabolism. I'm eating 3,000 calories a day right now and gaining no weight. And I'm not even working out, but 30 minutes to an hour a day. That's it. I am hardly burning 800 calories. Everything else is body stuff, and maintenance on a body like mine at 5'5" should not be 3,000 calories a day. So I definitely have a high metabolism, whether it's the 20%, whether it's the way my body digests the food, whether it's IBS not allowing me to digest things properly, whatever it is, I just have to increase the amount of food that I'm putting in my body. Just give it more fuel, give it more of these the materials it needs to build building blocks in my body. So, if you see an obstacle, stop seeing it as a wall, as a thing that stops your progress, that is impossible to get around once you've seen it. Use it as a way to learn more about yourself, learn about the process, learn about what you're going through and what you need to do to get around that obstacle. Because at this point in time, I've found what works for me. I found pre-workout that doesn't destroy my stomach. I'm not taking creatine with weird flavors that, also destroys my stomach. I'm just taking unflavored, pure creatine monohydrate. Doesn't destroy my stomach. I'm eating it with meals. I'm being smart about things. I'm eating clean foods for the most part. Ever since I moved here, though, I'm eating like crap, but we're turning that around this week. We're not eating as much, just crap. we're taking a little bit more care and thoughtful approaches towards our intakes this week. So it does look like the eclipse is just about to start. So I'm going to get out there and check this out. You guys have a great rest of the day. I hope you guys got something from this. And let's go get swole.